What up, people? This is Playing in Traffic. My name is Lewis Lee from All Ends Media, and we have my man Ed Golden. What up,
What's going
Ed?
on, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Hey, I'm gonna jump off for a minute. Ed, you can yeah, I can hear you fine. I'm gonna jump off for a minute and try to help Scott get in, but I'm going
any
to
questions I can answer while you're off. Anybody?
Yeah, anybody in the chat room, just bother Ed for a minute.
I know Mike Linner from Car Show Nationals has something to say here. What's up, Jim? Brian? Chassis John, how you doing? Me? Oh, God. 10 things. We just got a 65 Mustang in the shop, and we have a 66 that we've been working on for a while on and off. We just got a Model A in. We're doing a pretty cool airbrushing job on a body dropped S10. Well, this guy Cruz is doing the airbrushing at our shop. Really wild. I put some pictures on my Facebook. But my shop's craziness. We got a big lifted F250 that we're doing like a retro job on to make it look like it's a little like an 80s pickup with like a custom body panels and custom interior and front bumper, grill, and everything. So wide range. Yeah, Mike, it's been crazy. I moved into my new house this week. This is actually my first podcast in my home office. So, now I get a chance to add some little knickknacks and stuff behind me. But, we got the Boss Hog banner up for now. So, what's up, Trevor? How you doing? I saw that Dave Turn's truck was stolen. Thank God it wasn't the one I built for him. We built the truck for Dave Turin from the show Gold Rush, and his other truck got stolen. Thank God. The truck is on. If you watch the show, something Lost Minds with Dave Turin, the truck I built inside it. So yeah, but his other truck got stolen, but they found it. Yep.
Is that me?
What's going on, bud? There we go,
fellas.
Okay.
Hey.
All right, people, we're good.
What's going on tonight?
Same old problems with the systems.
Yeah, software tells me I had no microphone or camera, and I'm trying to fix it, and all of a sudden, there I am.
Yeah.
I'll just hold it, I guess.
All right.
Add to the excitement.
See if I can.
All right, Steve. Can you hear us?
Barely. Trying to see if I can get the phone to go into like full screen mode here.
Okay. You wouldn't have a set of headphones, would you? Close by.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had some with me. Oh well. Maybe I can do this.
Your picture looks good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, the video is good.
I can kind of hear you, but let me say one last thing. Well, I can kind of hear you.
Okay. All right, everybody. This is. Can you hear me?
Let's see if I can.
All right, everybody. This is Steve Smart from Billet.
I hear you like twice.
This is Steve from Badges.
Lewis, I hear you twice. Every time you say something, it doubles it.
Yeah, it's getting feedback somewhere.
You're getting feedback from
Well,
me?
seems to be better now.
Oh, okay. How's that? Yep. Yeah. Oh, okay. How's it? No, I'm echoing. It's Steve. Steve's system echoing us. You know what, Steve? Do you have your tablet still open?
Yeah. Off if that would help.
Yeah, that might be echoing for us, or sending an echo.
Power it off.
All right, testing. Can you hear me now? Yep, that was it. All right, we're good. We're gold.
Okay.
All right, Steve. Steve, introduce yourself and tell us about where you're from.
I'm Steve Smart. I started Billet Badges. We're in Ramona, California, which is on the outskirts of San Diego. Started doing custom truck badges back in 2003, and then it's just kind of grown from there into doing hot rod emblems, to restoration emblems, to you name it.
Yeah, incredible stuff. I seen you at SEMA. I talked to you at SEMA, and when I walked by, it caught my eye. I'm like, oh man, I could do a whole bunch of stuff with some of this. And me and Ed was talking earlier that we made stuff by hand because it wasn't any companies doing this kind of work. So yeah, we're real excited to see you on the scene.
Yeah. Well, everything we do is CNC machine. I program it all in Pro Engineer. So we do the 3D modeling, we'll reverse engineer, factory emblems, and then program it in Mastercam, and then CNC machine it out of a solid block of aluminum. And then we have all the polishing and painting and everything all on site. So basically it's all hand polished, hand painted, basically handmade.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. So your website is Billet.
That's awesome. That solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, it really does. And that's some of your work behind you, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's some of your badges behind you?
Did you? Oh, yeah. That's, you can see some of them up there.
Sweet.
Yeah. When you say you reverse engineer the factory badges, is there any issues with copyright infringement or anything like that?
Well, typically we go in there and we'll change the design so that it's not, a counterfeit, you might say. People want to change it up so that it's unique for them. So we'll take, for example, like a Mazda badge and change it up and have a,
Oh, sweet. That's pretty sweet.
It still has the Mazda M, but,
Yeah.
now it's a butter.
It's interesting because I drive a Mazda, and there's a badge I've seen for a number of years where they take the top of it out. It kind of looks, I take the top and the bottom out, and it kind of looks just like the wings of a bat. And
it's the Mazda M logo.
And I've never been able to ask anybody where they bought it because, and I got a nice big one on the back of the car. I'd love to change that damn thing. But
we used to start off by cutting them off.
Yeah,
they just
whack
them and just cut it off.
Yeah,
and then people started taking it and making molds from there, and then creating kind of like a Batman looking badge. So
If somebody's asking how long did it take you to make one?
It kind of depends on what you want. I mean, if it's something like a Ford Oval or something that we do a lot of, we have those in our store and we can ship them out next day. If you want something that's extremely complex, it can take, 12 to 14 weeks. We have currently about 350 orders in the queue. So, how to kind of do them in order. And it takes a while to, this information and program it. And people will send us their factory emblems and we'll go and change it up. So we have, stockpiles of, emblems like this that are just, they'll send them into us and they're like, oh, we want it to say something else on it. So we'll make it look just like the, but change it up.
That's slick. How much does a complicated one go for on average? About, just to get a ballpark. So many people that are watching this may be curious about,
Yeah.
Say an elaborate one.
Yeah, for a ballpark average, you're, depending on complexity, somewhere around $150 to $250 each.
Nice.
So,
each badge.
Yeah, we have prices that start at $50.
So if you have one for the back.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, I'm just curious. Obviously you're going to do the right and the left and probably a trunk, I imagine, on most cars.
Yeah.
Two fender and the back.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Now, notice on your website that.
So, what's the wildest thing that? Go ahead.
The wildest thing.
The timing is off, so we don't know when we're talking.
Yeah.
The wildest thing. Well, some people like more vulgar stuff, but there's also been some that are just like super complex where you get a lot of 3D surfacing going on. I just pitched a set for a guy that was in Australia, and he had a 1966 Holden that he dropped a 454 big block Chevy into, and he wanted to make the factory waving flags all done up exactly like the originals, but with his 454 call out in it, and that was pretty complex.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Now, notice on your website that you have like grills, like on the Ford trucks, the side fender grills. So do you make that whole piece or just the insert?
We make that whole piece. We have our like on the new 17 and up Super Duties, we create the whole billet piece with a mesh insert, and people can customize it however they want. To say, maybe they want their ranch name on there, or the work truck. You'll get electricians or whatever, they'll put their name on there, and it's a tax write-off for them, and they customize their truck instead of having the magnetic signs or whatever on the door, like contractors and stuff like that. But then you'll get people that have full-on show trucks, and they'll have like a name that they name the truck or whatever, and they'll have that incorporated into it, that sort of thing.
So I would imagine you offer a range of materials for the badges if people want something, stainless, aluminum.
Well, it's all 6061 billet aluminum. Everything's machine. We offer a wide range of finishes, whether you want it, powder coated or polished or anodized or stuff like that. It kind of depends on the finish you want.
Okay.
Some people want a brush finish or a bead blast finish.
Yeah. So how much aluminum do you go through in a year?
Oh God, thousands of pounds.
Keep the supply house happy.
Yeah, the truck comes with a forklift to unload it all. So,
but that's good. I mean, if you're using the one material, you can buy in bulk and you can get a better price. So,
yep,
it pays.
Exactly.
Yeah, I put the link to the website in the chat room. So everybody that's live on Facebook and YouTube, it's Billet Badges billetbadges.com. So go check it out, man. You got some pretty sweet stuff on there.
Yeah, you can click on the gallery and scroll through some of the that we've done in the past. We've done a bunch of different things for we started off doing just Ford trucks, and then it's kind of grown from there. Started off when I just made badges for my own truck, and I actually don't like emblems. I like the strip clean look, and I went in there and I tried to take them all off, but then there was holes and stuff behind the fenders. So I designed my own badges and put them on my truck and posted it on some forum, and then everybody was, "Hey, where'd you get those? I want to. Can you make me some?" And that's where it
history.
So
need some Yamaha badges.
Yep. I've done stuff for Yamahas. I've done Harley Davidsons. I've done more.
We lost some sound here. What happened?
Yeah.
Get really loud.
Came back, I think.
Can you hear me, or did you lose me?
There we go.
Yeah, we lost you for a minute. I'm working on a Cadillac project, 77 Coupe, and her name is Consuela. So I think I'm going to get some badges done. I'm definitely going to get some badges done from you. And I think I'm going to do my Cadillac emblem. So I'm going to do a custom grill, but I want the Cadillac emblem real big in the front. A little bit bigger than the new Cadillacs. Like the newer Cadillacs got pretty big emblem in the front. But I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit, maybe stretch it,
Or you can also, the Cadillac name and have it say Consuela in the Cadillac script.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I think I'm going to do. Where it has Coupe de Ville on the back, on the side, I think I'm going to put the Consuela there. Yeah. Side. Oh, and you know what else I need? I need a
all I can think about is inappropriate badges now after you said that.
Well, I can tell you a couple. I don't. So
you're allowed.
Yeah,
you're good.
I got a few. I want to get one with like 2 little feet.
Well, I had a female person that wanted a fuel door for her truck, and she made me or had me CNC machine an image of a vagina on the outside. Across the top it said "fill her up."
Figure a woman, see, a woman would do that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we get a lot of stuff out there that some of it's like bumper stickers, but then other stuff's more like your Cadillac project where they have a name for it or something like that, or something unique about it that they want it to kind of stand out. And this is the one way they're able to do it and have it be subtle and kind of classy, where it looks factory. And then when people actually read it, they kind of do a double take, and it's like, oh, wow, okay. I see on here. And
that's exactly what I want. You know what else I want is I want little emblems for my seats too. I'm redoing the seats, so I think I'm going to put the same emblem in the headrest of the seat, probably.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'd be nice.
They need to be a little bit thicker so that we can put a tapped hole in the backside so that the guy can pull it in. You might give him like a little template so that he can actually cut the foam so that the emblem's actually recessed into the seat.
Well, I'm the guy. I'm doing everything.
Well, could you do a positive and negative? And with that upholstery one, could you do like a positive and negative where you have the one side is, the inside's bigger than the outside. So when you compress it, you know what I mean? Something that would almost work like a sandwich, and then the material could stick in the middle, and then you'd have a real nice embossed edge. You know what I mean?
It's like a drop shadow or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in other words, you could actually, make like a sandwich, like a male and a female, and then the material could wrap around the edge as long as it's smooth. and it would suck in flush and look like it's not sitting on top.
Mhm.
You know, that might be an idea.
Yeah. See, great minds
It's nice
think.
with this because you guys, you know, you could finish up a, you know, with a project that has all sorts of custom touches. That's like the icing on the cake is to be able to personalize something that says something about the car, like you said, in a subtle way, which is nice. I had a Chevy motor and a Firebird, and I wanted to have someone hand paint a Firebird wearing a Chevy heartbeat jacket, even though they're close, you know. And now I'm thinking 20 years later, you could have made an emblem like that. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Now, for the people listening, what kind of platform do they have to send you, or media? Could it be just a drawing, or
A napkin sketch. On average, what people do is send us images of, like the emblem that's on the car, or a style of a couple different emblems that they like, and they're like, hey, I like the look of this badge, but I want to say this. And you can go to our get a quote form and upload images on there so that we can kind of get an idea. All we need is, basic size. We'll do all the design work for you. That's not a problem.
Nice.
But I've had people send me, 3D files that they've created and uploaded those to us. And it's like, hey, I've already, created the CAD model. Here's what I want to do. What will it cost to machine it out?
That's good. So they don't have to send you vector diagrams or anything.
No. We get, like I say, literally napkin sketches from people that are just,
That's when you do your best thinking when you're eating at a restaurant.
That's how I used to get my drawings when I worked at a machine shop. My boss would go out to lunch and come back with bar napkins with sketches on them, and I had to make tooling out of that. But it works.
Yeah. So, do you have a custom car or anything that you badged up?
Well, I'm working on one. As you can see, the hood in the background here, that's to my 70 Roadrunner.
Oh, okay.
So, that was a spare hood that I had laying around, so I painted it up and made it into wall art, and we stick our emblems and stuff on it. So that's in my office. But yeah, I have a 70 Roadrunner project that I'm working on.
I'm not known to be a Mopar guy, but that is my favorite Roadrunner, is a 70.
Yeah.
I love the look of that car. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is nice. Is that the color that you're painted, or?
Yep, that's the color. It's a Porsche Arena red with satin black stripes.
Yeah. How's it set up in Canada? Big block car, 4-speed automatic. What?
Well, I got an engine out of an 06 SRT Charger, so it's got a 6.1 Hemi in it with a Tremec 5-speed.
Okay.
All steering, coil-over suspension, so it's more of a resto mod.
Yeah, definitely good.
Ready to go.
Yep.
Ready to go. So Ed, what kind of badges you gonna get?
Yeah.
I want the Captain Morgan guy. You put on the side of my S10 with his foot up.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Didn't he have a tagline? Was there a tagline for that guy when he would stand there, put his foot up? Was there something that they said in the commercials?
What did he say?
It's been a while since I've seen a Captain Morgan commercial. I thought there was something. I don't know. Well, Steve, what are you going to do for badges on the Roadrunner?
Actually, I've kind of nicknamed it the Badger.
Okay.
Hey.
That's actually what you could nickname yourself.
I have a little Badger face that I want to, mount up in the grill. And then on the sides, we're going to do the C stripe that's more symbolic with the Super B. It's kind of the hockey stripe. Yeah. But then, back there, I'm going to have our Billet Badges logo. Instead of like the Super B logo, I'm going to have a Billet Badges logo back there.
Right.
And do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We thought that it would be a perfect car because the trunk on it's huge. Yeah. And we could go to whatever kind of car show or whatever and have like jewelry boxes or something in the trunk that we can put badges in, mount a LED TV on the deck lid, and so when we pull up, we can have a portable display booth that we can kind of show off some stuff wherever we go.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Now, have you made any lowrider badges, or not badges, but to go in the back window?
Car club plaques, you're saying?
Yeah.
Plaque.
We've done a couple, not a lot. There for a while, we were limited by size. Our one mill, couldn't make stuff too big. We just recently got another CNC mill that has a larger bed on it, so we're able to do larger badges now.
Okay.
So we're starting to look into doing, car plaques or whatever. Kind of depends on what people want to do. A lot of times we'll get those and just water jet them out, and quick and dirty.
Yeah, I seen a video the other day, and they were forging those. I didn't realize they did that. I thought it was all just cut out of metal. And
no, the ones we get for the club that I'm in, they come from Orion Truckers, and they're definitely like a rough aluminum casting. You can definitely, you can see like they're not paying a lot of attention to like the process because they're kind of rough. So you usually just clean them up and then paint them or whatever. But yeah,
I didn't realize they did them like that. I thought it was a little Mexican guy in the back room cutting them out.
No.
Well, usually what I'll get.
That's horrible, Lewis.
Well, no, what I mean is, I didn't mean it like they got them back there in the sweatshop. I was meaning that the Mexicans do them out in California. That's where I was going with it.
Good save.
One of our factory badges with their car club logo. Negative camber, they'll have their NC logo, and they'll replace the like the Buick Riviera hood ornament. Instead of the little R on the Riviera, they'll have their negative camber logo in there. Or like severed ties. I did one for a guy that had a 65 Impala, and he incorporated the severed ties logo and took the Impala out and fit it in the exact same spot. So it looks like the factory emblem, but it's not. It's their car club logo.
Yeah, that's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
I'm going to have you cut Golden Customs logos, and I'm my guys' necklaces.
Yeah, there you go. You got to make
my crew, so we can go to shows and look.
Make 4-finger rings too.
I got one somewhere. Where am I at?
4-finger ring. Yeah.
I got one somewhere around here. I think I'm going to put one on my steering wheel too.
That's
What'd you say, Ed?
I said maybe we could get one that spins,
Oh yeah, going back
with some lights on it or something.
I think Flavor Flav had a
Well,
clock.
it's really limitless what you can do, right? Not just badges. You could do anything. There's a lot of things you could do. Interior pieces, bezels for dashboards, and there's so many things. It's really not just like you're not limited to just doing the badges, even though it probably does very good because it's a nice niche market. But you can really do anything, with that machine, right?
Oh yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we can. We've done some trim pieces. We've also done a lot of interior parts, like horn buttons. As long as they don't have an airbag, can't do badges for airbag vehicles. But interior dash pieces, little like what do you call them? Where they have the data plate, where people have like their VIN number and their model and how many they made, and they'll have that on their data, something like that. We've just done a couple sets of those recently. Yeah, I've done a set of brass knuckles that was a handle for the on-off switch on a dragster.
Oh, yeah?
All kinds of crazy stuff, whatever people come up with.
Yeah, so you're not limited. You don't have like a certain thing where you stop. You really do anything that they send you, huh?
We try, and that's probably part of the reason why our lead time sometimes is longer than it should. Is people, they really, we work with them to try to get the design the way they want it, and so sometimes we'll go through 3, 4, 5, versions of it before we get something that they like, and
Right.
that takes time to fine tune it and get the design exactly the way they want it.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking of a whole bunch of stuff right now. I mean, I could write a check real quick right now.
Well, I think
Can you cut it out of plastic and save yourself the cost of aluminum?
The cost of aluminum isn't that bad, but then you're limited with plastic. If we were going to do plastic, we'd probably do like a 3D printer kind of setup and just use like ABS plastic in a 3D printer.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of, some of our competitors use, laser cut out plastic, and the people get the badges and they're like, wow, this is kind of cheap. This isn't what I was expecting. And they usually send the parts over to us and they're like, hey, can you make this out of billet?
Wow. Now, when they do it out of plastic, do they put a chrome coating over it?
The factory ones, yes, but those are all molded. They have a injection molding machine, and the tools are super smooth so that the finish comes out real nice and smooth. But you can't really do that with just laser cut out plastic. They got to be. They'll put a fake.
We've used a laser cut plastic before.
What's that?
We've used a laser cut plastic before, but it's a lot of work. Like you said, to finish them, I would have to, sand and prime and paint, and the only advantage was you could get some sort of a back glow using LED light if you did it carefully. Yeah. But that there was a lot of things I wish I could have had done in aluminum that we just didn't have that option back when I started. There wasn't something like you're talking about now would be $1,000 instead of $200 or $150 each. So price kind of limited what you could do. So I guess as technology advances, makes things a little more doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get more creative too.
We can still incorporate LEDs and things like that. We're doing a Terminator skull for a customer right now on a Dodge Shield, and he wanted the eyes to glow red when he hit the brake lights. So we're milling in some pockets for the LEDs to fit in there. The one advantage to machining is that I can make it the exact diameter and depth and everything that he needs the pocket to be, so the LED with the lens and everything like that fits in, to a nice pocket, perfectly, and then it's secured.
Yeah, that's pretty slick. Now the new Mercedes have a backlight behind their Mercedes emblem on the grill. So I don't know if that's part of the metal or if they put a plexi behind it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen what you're talking about. I'm just not sure how they do it. They probably have some type of an acrylic or, like you say, plexiglass or something like that that's, edge lit so that it makes it kind of.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the way I might roll on the Cadillac. I seen that and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty neat. It's not real bright, but it's noticeable.
That's pretty neat. Noticeable.
Man, I got lag time, huh?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting you guys like way off, like 5 seconds after delay.
You know what, Ed? Try to log out and log back in. I'll bet you that'll fix it.
All right, let me try.
You know what, Ed?
How do I do that?
You know what? I can kick you off. Hold on.
Hello?
Boom, you're gone.
All right, kick that out for a minute. All right, now where is he on the screen here? All right, here he is. Sorry, guys. Hey, does anybody have any questions in the chat room? Feel free to shoot them. All right, I'm letting Ed back in. Hey, did you guys see my seat? Hold on, I'm sitting in it. Let's see if I can show you.
Kind of hard to see it when you're sitting in it.
Yeah, right. Well, I was practicing for Consuela seats. So that's the design I'm going with, I think. What do you think?
Oh, I see. It's like a basket weave in the middle.
Yeah, and then it goes into straight.
Straight. Yeah, very nice. Excellent, Lewis. I like that. Yeah.
Now I would have did the back, but I ran out of material.
Is that the color you're going to use too?
Yeah. Yep.
We were discussing that last week. What's that color called?
This I bought from Joanne Fabrics, so I don't know what the color is, but hold on.
Okay, it's nice.
The color. See, I don't have my swatches. I think it was called caramel something caramel.
Looks like caramel. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the design I'm going to go with. I think.
Very nice.
When I do the back, I'm going to try a different design.
Yeah.
See what I like.
I think it got worse, guys.
Yeah, we're double echoing.
Yeah, I can't even not hear myself like I'm repeating.
Do you have two windows open?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, sometimes if you have two windows open, with
Yeah.
with maybe Facebook or
They fight with each other.
or YouTube, yeah, they all jump in. But yeah, that's what the color I'm gonna go with the seats, and I think that's the design I'm gonna go with.
How long did it take you to work that out?
Oh man, let me tell you, it's no joke figuring out those angles. Man, it had to take me at least an hour just to get my cardboard template to get the angle going. It's hard, man. I mean,
there's a lot of trial and error until you know what you're doing, and then you can replicate it easy. But yeah. That beginning stuff, the R&D stage is where all the time is.
You know, I should have did it on the computer where I could have figured. You know, I mean, I could have figured it out and then multiplied it. But I was out in the garage with a piece of cardboard and chalk tape.
The good old methods still work, and I think it's better to do it that way. It's like doing math, on a piece of paper instead of a calculator. You keep your brain working that way.
Yeah, it worked. It.
Yeah, good.
I was out there. I don't cuss, but I almost did.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but I figured it out, and so hopefully, I'm gonna do another design on the back part and see which one I like better.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm gonna put those logos, the Cadillac logo in it. That's gonna be pretty sweet, I think.
Yeah. Now, you talking about the Cadillac wreath or the crest?
The crest.
Okay.
The new crest, like the new version, is really nice logo.
Right.
So I want to go with that, but I want to modify it. I want to stretch it a little bit and maybe exaggerate the angles a little more.
Make it your own. Yeah. That keeps the copyright lawyers away from you, at least.
Yeah, but mine's gonna be sweeter anyway. They should have called me when they made it.
Yeah. They may make you an offer.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll be sending some stuff for her. I think I'm gonna put it in my steering wheel too, because I'm covering everything in the car, but I'm putting the 2002 Grand Prix interior in with their steering wheel. So it has the Pontiac logo in the middle, but once I cover it, I want to put that logo in it.
You got to change that. Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be a plan. So
yeah,
I think my bill's going up pretty fast, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we're working with Cadillac right now for the Grand National Roadster Show, doing some custom wheel center caps for them.
Now I got to do my spinners. That's too.
Cool. Right.
You're killing me. Made me think of my spinners now. I got to put the logo in there too.
And don't forget the spare.
Well, I ain't putting the spare in. I'm putting a whole bunch of stereo and air ride in the trunk. So.
Okay. All right.
So I'm good there. Ed, can you hear us?
Are there any limitations to the size?
I'm sorry, what was that?
size
Are
limitations.
there any limitations to the size of what you can do?
Well, with the new mill, we can do up to 15 by 19. So that's our limit.
That's not a bad. I mean, that's pretty good size.
That's good to know.
Yeah, that's pretty big. That's truck size, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And, we did a big cab over truck for SEMA. I don't know if you saw the truck. It was over there by Kindig's booth outside by the Coker Tire booth. And those bags were about 18 inches long and about 8 inches tall. And
I think I did see that truck.
yeah, we did it for Max Grundy. It was the Dr. Pepper truck. It has the big Dr. Pepper logo on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got a picture of it. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, we did the fenders on. They're kind of scallop striped with his gas mask logo in it, and then we also did the speaker grill on the interior and added his gas mask logo into the speaker grill that's in the center of the dash as well. But it was a black cab over Ford truck, and it had everything written on the side.
Nah, it figures. Can't find my pictures here. But I think I got a picture of it. Yeah, I mean it's unlimited what you can
I'll
do.
definitely be coming here. We were hoping.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Say it again.
No, it's so delayed. Yeah, I can it's hard to keep up.
What was your question again, Ed?
I was just saying I'm doing something for SEMA this year, hopefully, and I have a couple ideas now that talking about speaker grills, it giving me a lot of little things to think about.
Yep.
Instead of doing things the hard way.
Yeah, hand. Yeah, my mind's going pretty loose too. When I walked by his booth at SEMA, man, I was like, "Whoa, let me see what's going on over here."
Yeah, it's all the jewelry and eye candy for your vehicle.
Yeah, like Ed said, it's the finishing touch. It's like the hey, it's done.
Yep. You're adding your signature and your final bow on top.
Yeah. See, we got I'm gonna check Facebook real quick, see if anybody's got any questions over there. So when will your car be done, Steve?
Good question. It's like a never-ending project right now.
How far along is it?
What was that?
How far along is it?
Engine's in it, transmission's in it, the rear end of that is all in it. It needs to be wired. Dropping in that engine, I need to move all the accessories. I got to get like an accessory relocation kit to move the alternator and the air conditioner and all that stuff to the top of the engine, because right now the alternator's right up against the frame.
Right.
So I need something like a March relocation kit, and then that's pretty much it. So just getting it wired and then painted, but I'm not even worrying about painting it right now. I just want to get the thing running, and I'll put a wrap on it now just to get it down the road and work all the bugs out of it before painting it. And then
that's what I'm doing. Did you go with a hydraulic clutch for that with the Tremec?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got a hydraulic clutch set up in it. All Willwood brakes. So yeah, no, it's nice, nice little car.
Yeah.
It's just been the never-ending project that's been going on now for about 9 years now.
Yeah.
How long have you owned it?
What's that?
How long have you owned the car?
About 12 years now.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Yeah.
Getting it seasoned.
Well, it started off as one of the sports satellites. I didn't want to take a true road runner and butcher it.
Okay.
I figured I'd do it to a sports satellite that had a little 3 automatic and use that instead. And that way, I don't feel like I'm desecrating a real Roadrunner or GTX.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Hey, sports satellites are hard to find these days too.
Yeah.
Few and far between. They used to be a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
I'm over here on Facebook. My boy Ray said he had his Aston Martin badges done.
Yep.
Nice.
They're nice too.
Where has he been, Lewis?
He's been doing a lot of traveling. He's back and forth to Canada, New York.
He used to pop up and just send me texts or call me out of the clear blue, and then I haven't heard from him in a while, man, months.
Yeah, he's still moving. He stopped here over the summer.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I've seen your work on his car. That's my boy.
Yeah, I missed him at SEMA this year. Normally he stops by and I miss him.
Hey, Lewis, guys, you guys are. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you, Ed.
I'm sorry. You guys are cutting out. I think I'm gonna let you guys do this because I can't really hear you. I think I'm gonna click out of this, but I'll be watching.
Okay, Ed. Appreciate
You guys are fading in and out. I can hear you, then I can't hear you. But I'll add some in the chat room.
All right, cool.
Kick me out, Lewis.
All right. So long, Ed.
Yeah, you two I can see just fine and not cutting out, but Ed was cutting out real bad.
Yeah, I had the same problem. Yeah, his video was good when he came back in, and then it would always degrade. But maybe it's a weather thing. I don't know. There's all sorts of weather going on. It was very windy here. I'm in New York. They were talking about up to 50-mile-an-hour winds tonight, and it's banging out there. Lewis froze.
Yep, Lewis is frozen.
It's cold in Ohio. Oh man, that's something.
Yeah, it looks like we lost Lewis.
Yeah, they'll reconnect. They'll reconnect. Yeah. You're gonna like that Tremec. What gears are you using in the back of that car?
Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
What rear end gears are you going to use in your car?
Oh, not sure yet. We're talking maybe a 379, something like about in there. Whether we're going to do a Detroit locker or something else, we're still playing around with that. That's the one thing that we haven't hammered out was the rear end on it yet. Kind of wait until we got it on the road and see. We got the 5-speed in it, and we had the overdrive gear in the 5-speed set pretty tall. So I want to see how that all plays out, and if it's geared too tall, I'll adjust it with the rear end.
I can tell you from personal experience that fifth gear. I mean, I put the same transmission in my car. I don't think about sticking it in fifth until I'm doing 70. And literally, I'm cruising on the highway at 70, and I was like turning like 2,200 RPM. My motor wasn't turning fast enough, so the car was actually running hotter. The temperature, it wasn't overheating, but on the highway, the temperature would go up because the engine wasn't turning fast enough. I was like, okay, so you give it on one side and you take it away on the other. So I had to start working on the cooling system. So just something to think about. I never thought of that, about how slow the engine will actually turn. With that 5-speed, but man, it really knocks it. And I think I'm at like a 0.62 overdrive. I think that's the ratio that I have in mind. So that's with a 373 gear and a 29-inch tall tire. Pretty standard stuff. But luckily the engine has enough torque. It's big enough so I can power through it. But just all those little things I never thought of, and that's that working out area that you were talking about. That getting things sorted out. What do you got there, Lewis?
I'm pulling up the website. I thought I didn't pay the bill. I thought they kicked my internet off, but I'm still here.
Nice.
Those days where you forget to send the check. All right, here we go. Man, I tell you that is sharp and really crisp.
Very nice. Yeah, very professional.
That's the brushed. That's pretty slick.
That is nice. Wow, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, man.
I like that Dodge badge. That's nice.
Yeah, we do all the different Dodge trucks from pretty much 94 on up. So we can do, pretty much whatever you want in the Dodge Shields. Maybe you see one of the designs in our gallery that you like, and maybe we have that on the newer Dodge, but you have an older Dodge. Well, we can, transfer that design into the smaller Shield.
Yeah, these look really good, man. I mean, it looks like factory.
Yeah.
Look at that F-350. That's pretty slick.
Nice. That's very nice.
Now the grill that you putting in the back, that's not part of the cutout. Is that like after? Like, do you put that in or?
Yeah, we put that in from behind. We get the ordered aluminum wire mesh, and we have a pocket on. We machine a pocket into the backside for that mesh to fit into.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see Terry making up some tons of LS.
Yeah.
For everything. Ooh, nice Impala.
Runner.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's one of the car club cars.
That's my there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, I can see that they. Oh, there you go. There's the Roadrunner.
Yeah, that was at SEMA.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it looks good.
Yeah, it's throwing me not seeing a chrome bumper. That's what's looking different. Yeah.
Yeah, I took all the chrome off of it. So we powder coated all the trim black and painted the bumpers. I'm thinking about running the racing stripe that comes across the hood down into the bumper area.
That look good.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think Chassis John was asking about badges for his truck, so I'm gonna pull him in.
Ah, the truck, probably for the Firebird too.
Oh yeah. We got a lot of fabricators and backyard mechanics and everybody. We got everybody come through here.
There he is.
Hey, John. Hey, I think you should be wearing a All Ins magazine and not Hot Rod magazine shirt. I tell you, man, no respect.
I don't have an All Ins magazine shirt. I need to order one.
Yeah, you need to bring your microphone down.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't have an All Ins shirt. I need to order one.
I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna send you one.
Ah,
You know
cool.
what? I don't see Terry in here at all. Is Terry here?
I don't know.
It's cold where he lives. He's sleeping.
Yeah, he might be. Okay, so John, I remember last week you were talking about maybe some things for your truck. So here's the man.
Yeah. I'll have to get a photo. The word Trans Am. It's kind of like a slanted block lettering, and then I want 632 after that. Trans Am 632 Trans Am. What other stuff am I gonna have you do? I'm going to need a disc that fits in the center of a Grant steering wheel. It's like the way the horn button goes, except it's not a horn button because there's no horn on the racing steering wheels because it comes off. So it just fits. You put it in first, and then you bolt the wheel to the removable adapter. So I'm just looking for like a black anodized disc that you can CNC machine probably my logo into that. I can send you a vector file of the logo.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. On our website in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a get a quote form.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, just click on that. Give us, the approximate size. You can upload your images and stuff on there, and we can look at it and get you a quote. And then, if you want to place the order, you can either send in the current steering wheel center cap to us so that we can actually pull dimensions off of it and scan it.
Oh yeah. I can send you an actual cap that's in there that says Mark Williams.
Mm-hmm.
It makes axles. He also makes those things. So I can send you his, and you can just reproduce it.
Sweet.
Yeah, the cool thing is it's not a flat disc. It's kind of raised in the center.
Yeah.
And it slopes down.
Yeah.
So it's just
convex.
It's not a flat disc.
Right.
So that'll look really cool. And then when I come up with I gotta have my graphic artist come up with the actual half-breed logo. I'll need a couple of badges like that, but I don't know what that design is going to be yet.
You need one with fish on it too, don't you?
Yeah, right, for the aquarium business.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I'll have you whip up a set of Tampa Aquarium Service badges that I could stick on my brand new GMC pickup.
Yeah, there you go.
That would look cool. That would look really cool.
So the badges for cars for the exterior, Steve, they typically use like 3M double-sided adhesive to attach them.
We use the VHB adhesive because they're very high bond.
Yeah.
So kind of overkill for the application. They usually use it for holding on body panels.
Right.
But, I want to make sure they don't come off, and that's one of the things people are always worried about is off, and it's like, no, it won't.
I put some extra emblems on my Impala back in '96, and I just used the regular 3M double-sided badge adhesive. It's called trim adhesive, I think, and it's still on there today. That car is it's outside, it's in the cold, it's in the heat, and that stuff didn't fall off. So yeah, that stuff you're using, good luck getting it off.
Yeah,
they don't do it like they used to do, where you had those little stubs,
right?
You had like a little tin nut you'd put on the back or something.
Right, that's how my Pontiac is. Yeah.
And I remember my first Firebird, they had these little metal inserts that you put in the hole. And
they expanded.
And then you push the letter into it.
Actually,
it was like a molly.
The badges that go on my fenders on the Pontiac have those.
Yeah.
And all the others use the nuts, those cap nuts.
On the back of the Firebird, the word Pontiac was all individual letters.
Right.
And you pry them off with a screwdriver. There was those little like molly type inserts.
Yeah.
In the that rear body panel's fiberglass.
That's right.
Yeah. That was one of the first things I got rid of.
Ray has one. Watch.
Yeah, not here though. I want to see if the Porsche emblem had it. I have them. I know I got them. I got them in the garage, and I got them out in the other room.
Steve, we could talk about anything, and he has one next to him somewhere.
Well, it's within reach. Yeah, it's or within getting area.
Anything automotive is right there in his basement.
Spark plug gapping tool.
What kind you want? The round one, the straight one. I have a Snap-on one. It's like a pair of pliers. You put the plug in and you squeeze it, and it automatically.
Yeah.
I got a pair of those too. Yeah.
Those are great.
Advantage to the adhesive now is that it's like a gasket, so you're not getting water and dirt and debris and stuff like that behind it. It's attached to the entire surface of that emblem, not just in 2 or 3 locations with those little pins.
Right.
So they don't rattle or anything like that. They're on there, and you're not going to get rust and stuff like that with the adhesive on there.
Right. The thing is, if you have a car like mine that has the holes,
good thing.
now you want to fill in the holes before that's at the bodywork stage. So you kind of want to think that one out.
Yeah, you can fill them in if you're going to put something different over top of it. But if you're have a broken original and you need us to remake it, and it's going to be in the exact same location, you would just cover up the holes with the new emblem. The adhesive is going to seal it so you don't get water and stuff in those holes.
Yeah, you could do that too. Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Yes.
Sweet. Yeah, my mind is open now, man. I'm thinking of all kind of stuff to get done.
Yeah.
Custom drum kit logos, John.
Oh, wow.
Drum badges, right?
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awesome idea.
It never ends.
Can you
man.
do stuff?
It could never stop.
Can you do stuff that's on a curve
Yeah, right.
in order to fit a drum?
That might be tough.
Well, we can do it on a curve. We just gotta need a template of the bend so that we can
Yeah, you need the radius.
the arc.
Yeah, you need the radius.
Yeah.
That would be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Speaking of drums, today I had a long drive, and I said to myself, "What's going to happen with all of Neil Peart's?"
I thought the
kit?"
same thing yesterday.
And I said to myself,
same thing.
"How can I buy one?"
Yeah.
I mean, it would be so awesome to own something that he actually played.
Right.
Now, what band was he in?
Rush.
Rush.
He
If
just
anything,
passed.
I think that stuff will go to auction, like for charity or something. I think they
Sure.
probably do that, and God knows, yeah. Yeah.
So on Sirius XM, they have a channel. It's the Rush channel for the next
Mhm.
couple of days.
Mhm.
And there's, little announcements if you want to make a donation to any cancer charity in Neil's name.
Right. What channel's that? What number? Do you
30.
know? 30? Okay.
Yeah, it's usually deep tracks.
Okay. Yeah, I have that programmed in. All
And
right.
they're no commercials. They're just playing Rush. They did the whole 2112 this morning. I
Wow.
was
Nice.
on my way to Fort Myers.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, hey guys, it is 10 o'clock, and I'm going to sign off. But Steve, you're welcome to stay on. We appreciate you coming on, first off, and people, you really got to go look at his website and
Yeah.
I put it right in
check
my
out.
favorites.
Yeah, check out the website, man, because it's really showing. It gives it more value of what they're doing there, and
I did find a picture of one of the steering wheel center pieces that's all domed and everything. If you want to see a quick example,
Yeah.
I can. You see
Oh,
that?
yeah. Nice.
Cool.
Factory 5.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool.
yeah, it is.
That's really nice.
That's all domed and everything. So, like I say, he just sent me the original center cap, and he's like, the original was flat. He's all, I wanted to have a nice dome to it.
Yeah.
I wanted to look factory and fit in the factory location. So that's what I did.
Perfect.
Man, that's sweet.
That's very good.
Yeah, I can't wait to get. See, now I got to get drawing on it so I can send it to you. I got to get mine done.
Yeah.
Yep. But hey, guys, I'm going to jump off, and I appreciate you coming on, Steve. It was great meeting you at SEMA too, as well. But yeah, everybody check out his website, and check out our website, planandtraffic.com, and please go to YouTube and become a subscriber and hit the little bell, ring the bell, ding, 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 so we can notify you when things are popping.
Yeah, I saw the show from a couple of weeks ago on my YouTube feed. I'm sitting in the den, like, hey, look at that. So I watched most of the show again.
I popped up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, please subscribe and tell everybody that we do this every Thursday night, 9:00 Eastern time. And I'm out, Steve. Appreciate you. And I'll be getting in touch with you to order some stuff as soon as I figure out what designs I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And you're welcome to stay on. These guys, they stay on for who knows how long.
Yeah, we'll see how much you know about music.
It's the after show. And thanks, Ed. I'm sorry that your system wasn't working. Thanks for coming on. But we're gonna have Ed pop in. He'll be a guest host every once in a while if he has anything new popping. So I'd like to thank Ed for jumping in. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat room. And I will see you guys next week. And if anything pops up, I will hit you on the social.
All right, Lewis. Good night.
All right, night.
Hey, Lewis. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and here we are.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
I got all kinds of parts coming in for the Camaro. Bunch of stuff showed up last couple of days.
Oh, say that again, Steve. I missed what you said.
Yeah. Do you have questions you want to ask me?
Oh, questions.
I don't know. I took a look at the website. I got a real good idea on what to do.
Yeah, the good
It's a
thing is
matter of designing it now.
fairly self-explanatory about what
Yeah.
you're doing. Yeah, which is great, and the product speaks for itself. The look and the finish is fantastic. The stuff looks gorgeous.
You hand paint that enamel in there?
Yeah. We'll mask it and spray it.
Uh-huh.
We usually mask the entire badge. All the recessed areas will go in there and bead blast it to give it to roughen
Something
it
to
up a little
grab.
bit.
It's good.
And then go in there and prime it, paint it, then polish it all out, and then hand trim the adhesive because
Right.
it's a custom design, so unless
Nothing's
it's
a regular rectangle.
Yeah.
we got to go in there and hand trim all that adhesive out.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
How big is your facility?
We're a small little shop. People think that we're this massive big company, but we have about 1,500 square foot shop.
Okay.
Okay,
Five
that's like the
employees.
size of my aquarium business.
Hmm.
Yeah. You can get a lot done in there.
Yeah,
Just got to have places to put the machinery.
exactly.
Heavy power.
Yeah.
So if people want stuff powder coated, I guess you send that out to be done.
What's that?
If people want the badges powder coated, you send them out.
Yeah. We used to do it in-house, but then we decided it was better to just send it out to the professionals that do it day in and day out, and they had better equipment than we did. So it works out a lot better just sending it out.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I got a guy right around the corner from me. That's what they do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's awesome. He could do the whole car.
Did you get that firewall piece yet for the Camaro?
No.
Wow.
I'll call them tomorrow.
Jeez.
I know. I'm waiting on those
That's
guys.
holding up a lot of work right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm going to. The center section came,
Mhm.
and I'm pissed off because it's a 35 spline, posi,
Mhm.
and they sent me 31 spline axles.
That ain't gonna work.
I'm like, are you kidding me here? I call the guy up and he goes, "Oh, put the wrong number in. Sorry."
I didn't realize there was so many different. In my car, I'm using 32 spline axles, so I didn't realize there were that many different axle splines available that was so close to each other.
Yeah, well, Fords are 28, 31, 33, 35, and then you got race axles of 40.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need 40 spline in that car.
No.
But I specifically ordered 35 spline center section,
Mm-hmm.
and I was very surprised because it comes in that plastic shipping case.
Yeah.
It's an aluminum center, and it's got the 10 bolt like a Pro Mod.
Oh yeah.
Pinion support, which like a typical Ford has 5 bolts holding the pinion in.
Mm-hmm.
The heavy duty ones have 10 bolts.
Mm.
That's what this one's got, and it's got the 1350 series yoke.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice piece. It's a really nice piece.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Put the 1350 yoke in my 12 volt.
yeah.
Pretty
So I
much
went to I took one of the raw axles and slid it into the center section.
And
And
that
I'm
went
like,
bunk, bunk, bunk. Yeah.
what's going on here?
That's right.
And then I counted the splines, and I got on the phone to California. I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah.
He goes, oh, wow, sorry, man. He's like a surfer.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
they're going to send other ones.
Yeah.
Huh?
We're all surfers here in California, right?
Yeah, I know. I got a couple of friends out there. You guys are strange. It's just a different world.
I'm sure that goes both ways.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except we can take the criticism.
Yeah, it's maybe, I guess, yeah. Yeah. Well, you know why? Because we give it all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
It's I've had people say to me, I had like, how do you talk? I heard you talking to this guy, and like you're cutting each other to shreds, but like you say you're best friends. Like, what the hell's that all about? Sounds like you're mortal enemies. Like, no, man, we love each other, grew up together. He's an asshole. What can I tell you? It's like,
I know.
Artie Schilling, world-renowned pinstriper. He's down in Myrtle Beach. He's from Paterson, New Jersey, and he does Artie's party at the Syracuse Nationals every year. So we got to be friends with him. He came on the radio show a number of times, and when he wasn't around, he would call. And he told a story, the same thing. He says, he goes, I love being on the radio with you guys because it's like I'm back home in New Jersey. And I said, yeah, okay, I can see that. And he said he brought a friend of his from Myrtle Beach who's native to South Carolina, traveled around, but really stayed in the state. Brought him with him one year to come up. They went to, I guess, Syracuse, and he stopped in Paterson. And the same thing, he hung out with some old friends, and they're in the 70s. And the guy said to him at the end of the day, he says, I don't understand it. He goes, first of all, like you guys, everybody wears black. Like in the middle of the summer, everybody wears black. You guys are drinking coffee all day. He goes, and you bust each other's balls relentlessly. He's like, what's with you guys? He goes, it's just a thing. It's just for being up here. You gotta. He's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I was really flustered, couldn't figure it out. So I don't know. When you're in the middle of it, it just seems kind of normal,
Yeah. That's the way it goes.
You born and raised in California, Steve?
Yeah, I was born in Northern California, up in the San Jose area, and then
Nice.
went to school and stuff in Northern California, up by Sacramento, Stockton area. And after I went to college, I moved to San Diego and been here ever since.
Nice.
How long have you had the company?
We started in 2003.
Okay.
And it was just doing badges then, or you were doing something else?
Well, that was when I started doing them, and kind of as a hobby out of my garage, nights and weekends kind of thing. I still had my regular job as an engineer. And then around 2008, the recession hit. Our company got bought out. They laid off the whole engineering staff.
Wow.
So I decided, well, let me see if I can make a go of this. And so I've been doing it full time since 2008.
That's great.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's good to hear someone that bounces back on their feet instead of, being on the balls of their ass. That's nice.
Yeah.
No, you hear too many sad stories, it's nice to hear of a success.
That's awesome.
And you never thought you'd be doing that, I'm sure, right? You probably never thought.
No.
Yeah. That's something.
That's how my chassis business started. It was just me messing around with my car. And then people were like, oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And one thing led to another, and it turned into a full-time chassis shop.
Yeah. Right.
And there were many times when I was building tube chassis that I praised my math teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I never thought I would use geometry.
Right.
And then boom.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look in a race car is a triangle somewhere.
Absolutely. It's going back about 12 years now or so. My one daughter was in school still and bitching about, why do I need to learn this? Why do I learn to know that? And she was taking geometry at the time. So I wanted to build a ramp that I could do an incline plane for my back so I could lay backwards on it. So we're outside on the deck, and I said, you know what? I said, I got a problem. I got to figure this out. I said, I got to build this ramp. I need to know how long to make it. And I want to put it on the deck, either the deck or the step. I said, so how do we figure that out? And it's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, let's draw it, and you draw a right triangle. I said, wow, looking familiar here, Pythagorean theorem, it's like, I said, see, and, I knocked it out, figured out the length. And I said, you may have to use this again in the future. Like if you need to do something, you want to do it the right way, math and science. It all comes back to math and science. Not everything's philosophy. And, little light bulb went off, and she says, oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
I love those little life lessons,
Yeah, and in the aquarium business, I'm using math all the time.
Yeah.
To determine stuff that has to do with, plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
How many gallons an hour we can move through a certain pipe, and how much is parasitic drag on the length of the pipe. Every time you got a 90-degree bend, you're creating problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then science, biology, I'm testing water, making sure that,
Yeah.
levels are right and
Right.
mixing chemicals, things like that. And I'm like, man, all that stuff in high school, it's all kind of paying off now,
Yeah, it's coming
Stuff
back.
that I thought I'd never have anything to do with.
Right.
I'll see what happens.
Yeah. That's why I said, education, it's like youth. It's wasted on the young. You really need to, I think you need to like get your education when you're older and you can appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know all the learning I did, I haven't stopped yet. And all the learning I've done, even classically, that was later, I got so much more out of it, because I had a vested interest. I was,
Sure.
I wanted to do it. When you're young, you do it because you have to.
Yeah, it's like I'm not a machinist at all. I'm, a mechanical designer, engineer, and I taught myself the machining aspect. Just, hey, I was like, hey, I got a mill and I got to figure this out. And some friends, kind of showed me the ropes, and I took it from there. And if I can't figure it out, I look it up, on the internet or YouTube or whatever, and figure it out.
Well, you're the perfect guy for it because you have the training, the mechanical and the engineering training, and the respect for the machine. You look at a milling machine, this thing could kill me in a second, if I do something wrong. So yeah, you always need a heads up. You need someone to ask some questions too, and especially for setup stuff or whatever. But yeah, you're of the right cut of cloth right from the start, though. Like I wouldn't put the philosopher on a South Bend mill or lathe. I mean, I've worked, all my life. I've worked in engineering in one form or another. And most of the senior engineers I worked with early on, I mean, these guys were brilliant. I learned a lot from them, but God forbid you give them a screwdriver and they're putting it through their hands. These guys, they were calculated. They were pen and pencil guys. They couldn't, and I was always a hardware guy. I was always a hands-on guy. So I brought that to the table, and that's what got me through. And I saw it's, I used to take it for granted, and I still do, I guess, to a degree, but I realized it's more of a gift than anything. Because I meet so many people that just can't see how things go together. They can't, it's like a puzzle. You take it and you figure it out, and you figure out how to do it better. These guys are just like, they kill themselves.
A lot of people don't, I don't know what you would call it, but they can't get that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I remember back in high school, part of these stupid tests that they used to make us take, there would be an unfolded box laid flat.
Exactly.
You would have to answer the question as to if you folded this thing up, what was it?
Yeah, or how many sides or whatever. Right.
Yeah, exactly. I was able to breeze through that, no problem.
Yeah.
Some people remember like, whoa.
I remember I had one, and it was a series of pulleys and gears. And they'd show you like one turn to the right. So he said, "How does what's going to come out of the end?"
Right.
So you had to picture it, and it's like, yeah, piece of cake, no sweat.
I bet you they don't put that stuff on tests anymore.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because I mean, we had wood shop, metal shop, and auto shop.
Yeah, my school too. Yeah, and we had a rifle range too.
Oh, nice.
I mean the whole bit. So yeah. Took wood shop, but I was always a metal guy. So I took wood, I guess, because I had to one. I was like, nah. I always found myself going back to the metal shop.
We did have archery though in gym.
Okay.
I'm figuring some liberal must have went, whoa,
yeah,
no way.
Right.
Back in the 70s though.
Oh yeah,
we could have killed people.
Hell yeah.
They were real deal bows, with a metal tip on them, the whole and on the arrows.
And we used to play dodgeball.
Yes.
Kill him. Boom.
My gym teacher, he used to play horse.
Oh yeah.
Go around the key.
Right.
For kids' lunch money.
Wow.
And nobody said anything. He used to do that to kids.
Who's gonna talk, right?
Right. He was big.
Keep it quiet. Well, usually, like in my school, usually the gym teachers were
NFL player.
Yeah, a lot of our gym teachers and our driver ed teachers were all the football coaches. So, and I didn't play football. So if you didn't play football, you were crap to them anyway. Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, he was into football and wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, we had a wrestling coach too. The same thing. And they were all young guys at the time. Looking back, they were probably like 28 years old.
Yeah, he was retired. He was I think he played for Minnesota.
Oh, okay. So he was in his 30s.
Yeah, he was a linebacker.
All right.
Big guy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna mess with him.
No.
Scary. I think he would like say weird stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like if he did something stupid, he'd like, Gary Arrow, do you walk to school or bring you lunch?
What?
Yeah. Guy was odd.
Yeah.
He was good.
Funny stuff.
I don't know.
Oh man.
It's weird. Oh, I got a question for you because believe it or not, I drew a blank.
Yeah.
Master cylinder.
Mhm.
Because now everything has ABS.
Yeah.
The front port of the master cylinder is for the rear brakes.
Depends on the car.
GM.
The larger chamber, which is the front, is for the front brakes. I just put one on.
Every time I always plumbed them, it was the port in the front.
I know.
One furthest away from the firewall was rear brakes.
I know what you're saying. I've had that happen
too.
too.
The back was the front brakes.
But
Because that one would hit first.
I just did that Chevelle last week, and I bench bled that master, and the front port, which is the larger one, is for the front brakes on that car.
Well,
so you got to look it's car dependent.
This one's going to be 1 1/8", and it's 4-wheel disc, so they're going to be identical. It's like a Corvette master.
Okay, all right.
So I guess it doesn't make a difference.
No, you got to figure when the plunger. Yeah, the plunger
coming away from this for too long.
Yeah, the plunger coming in is uncovering the rear chamber first.
Yeah,
and then the front chamber. So
I don't know.
A lot of times the lines of size different, so that kind of tells you what to do. There's no.
Willwood said 3/16 the whole way.
Okay, all right. But I mean the fittings, you can use a larger or smaller fitting.
Yeah.
7/16, some a half.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put power brakes in the guy's car.
Okay.
But I have to use a small booster.
Yeah, the 8 or 9 inch, right?
Because this big engine is going to be in the way of stuff, so we're going to use an 8.
Right.
And I found a really nice company in California that's got all kinds of brake stuff.
Mm-hmm. What company is it?
Hold on 1 second, I'll tell you. I'm hearing a delay.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of an echo too.
ABS Power Brake Incorporated.
Okay.
Great website. Everything. Okay. Stock, replacement, aftermarket, racing, street rod. They've got it all.
That's cool. I got a guy that I used in Oregon. The original guy's name was Booster Dewey. They rebuilt boosters, and now Booster Steve, I think, took over for Dewey. He took the company over, and they rebuild power boosters, which is great.
Right. So I'm going to buy the power booster from those guys. They have the gold plated. They have chrome, and for like $15, they'll powder coat it any color you want.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Willwood makes a smaller than normal master cylinder for tight space applications.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably wind up using that. And I called Willwood. I told them what brake system we're using front and back, and they told me to use an 1 1/8".
Okay.
Master. So
the larger
their whole setup. It's got a bracket. It's got the the adjustable proportioning valve.
Right.
And that brass fitting.
Right.
So that everything goes in, and so you got your brake light switch.
The combination valve, yeah.
Yeah, it's a combo valve, all built in.
Right. Yeah, it's nice the way they do that.
Yeah. So I think that'll work good on this kid's car.
The master cylinder, if you increase the bore size, what you do is you increase the volume, not pressure. Smaller bore gives you more pressure. So, but you need the volume for disc.
Yeah, we got you got four piston calipers.
All the way around, or just in the front?
All the way around.
Oh, okay.
2 up front and 2 in the back.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like 4 piston in the front, maybe single. A lot of guys will use single piston or maybe dual piston in the rear.
Yeah, no.
Mostly stopping is up front.
Yeah, these are big vented rotors.
Yeah.
Front and back. This
Dual,
thing's got huge brakes.
Those are 2-piece. The dual, the separate hat off the hub.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice
yeah. You
stuff.
got a hat, you got a rotor, you got to put it all together, and then each caliper is a 4-piston caliper.
They safety wire that in the back. Get to use the safety wire pliers.
Yeah. It comes with the special little screws.
I love those. Yeah, I love doing that. I actually have the jigs to drill nuts and bolts, so you can drill them for safety wiring.
I used to have those at Chassis Connection. We used to safety wire everything.
Yeah, you'd be, you wouldn't be surprised, I guess, but so many people don't know what that is or why you would do it, and it's like visit an airport. Talk to an aircraft mechanic. You don't want shit falling off.
Aircraft guys know how to use safety wire.
Oh hell yeah!
They make an artwork out of it.
Yeah, I got a spool of stainless steel wire that just stays up there, and
I have a spool of stainless steel wire from Moroso that I bought. I swear to God, like 1979.
Yeah, it's like the tin of soldering paste. Just like it's always there.
I don't know how many. There's got to be like 100 feet of wire in there.
Yeah.
And I can still use it.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gotten corroded looking or anything. I mean, the tin top looks like crap.
Yeah.
The cardboard is like missing it was like printed cardboard, like a paper towel roll, sort of.
Yeah.
And the Moroso is like scratched off.
Right.
It's pretty wild.
And I got a pair of pliers. I don't know what happened to Steve. He just disappeared there. A newer pair of pliers, but I have the original pair of pliers I got when my older brothers. He brought them home from the Navy. And those are still the ones I use, even though the pin is broken. I got to put a nail in to lock it, but they just work so much nicer than the later model aftermarket pliers.
That's cool.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So
got a bunch of people here.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're coming along, getting parts. That's good. Get that project moving.
I have seats. I've got, we got the engine. The transmission's on the way.
Okay.
What else showed up? I don't know, a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Like I said, the axles, which are wrong. The center section, which is right.
Right.
The rear brakes. There's a bunch of stuff in the mail. So I got to get rocking and rolling faster than I already am.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happens.
Get this thing running real soon, so it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to fire it up.
Yeah.
I was reading the instructions on what's got to get done to get this Holly system up and running.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little out of my wheelhouse, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you gotta go just page by page, line by line, and just follow it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bunch of preliminary stuff, but the motor's already been run.
Right.
So I think it's a matter of just making sure fuel pressure is set where it needs to be.
Right.
And just turning the key on.
What does that system run at pressure wise?
I think it's like 65.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I'd have to pull the book out again, but it's up.
Yeah, I would have guessed 70. But yeah, pressure check all the fittings, and it'll do a sensor check. It'll it's like what Joe would say. It's like you turn a key on, the computer says, "Okay, class, who's here? Hey, where's oxygen sensor 2? Okay, we'll come back to you," and then it'll just do a system check around and around until it gets enough positive answers, and then it'll give the fire command.
Yeah. That's the important thing is the O2 sensor to keep it running.
Yeah. You gotta check the fuel mixture. Yeah, fuel trims. But
I'm a little surprised they only use one.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought 2. One in each bank.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, what do I do if I got one side that's running crappy?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't
know.
I'll probably talk to the guys at Holly. Maybe there's some kind of upgrade.
Yeah, it's probably not that. I guess it's the way they map it.
Both and makes it in half. Splits it in half or joins the two together.
It's the way
it's not necessary.
Yeah. It's not. Well, it's not port injection, so they're not metering it to each cylinder individually. So it's just kind of a gross batch feed kind of a thing.
Right.
So, maybe they expect you to run single exhaust. I don't know. Just one pipe.
It's a system that's capable of handling 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, right.
Don't think you're running single.
No. And it's funny too, because we're talking about stuff like this on an older car now. My buddy at the shop, he's going to spend the weekend upstate at his the family house up there in the Catskills, and he told me he wants one of his dad's cars, his 72 Chevelle. He drove it up there. I've worked on this car, and now it just like didn't run last time he was up there. It wouldn't start. So he's going to try and diagnose it. The thing is, he's 24 years old, and this car has a 350 with points in it. And he was asking me today, like, what do I do, with the points? So I had taken the points distributor out of his GTO at the shop, and we put an HEI in it. So I said, is your distributor still in the shop? Hang on. I went in there, I grabbed it. I came back in the office, I sat down, I showed him. I said, turn this. You feel each click. I said, that's the rubbing block on each high spot. You can feel it. And I took the roll off. Yeah, I took the points out and I showed him, just show him like each one of these represents one cylinder, and I'm trying to give him the run through. And then I got home and I realized, you know what, I got to write this out for him because he hasn't lived it, so he doesn't really have that grasp. So I pretty much started an email to him of like, you know what, don't take anything apart first. Just let's see, verify you got fuel. Maybe the fuel pump crapped out. It happens all the time. Verify fuel, verify spark, tell him how to check the coil with a test light. I said, then we'll go in. And then, I gave him a snap-on tack dwell meter because I had a couple of them. I refurbed it and I gave it to him. He goes, what do I need this for? Like, we work on an old car. I said, remember that tack dwell meter I gave you? Bring it with you, hook it up, and just crank the car and see if you get dwell. You should have like 28 to 32. So shoot for 30. I said, and that's when he's asking me, can I do that through the cap? You remember I showed him how. I'm like, yeah, you put an Allen key in there and you can adjust it. I said, the rubbing block could have worn down. I said, the points could have fallen apart. I said, but do everything without taking anything apart first before you start exploring because, it's safer that way.
Yeah.
But, we take that for granted. But there's a guy who never worked on a points car before, And he's looking at it like, wow, there's a lot of parts in here. Like, Boo working on a 6-cylinder Chevy in the shop over the summer. And I had the dwell meter on. I said, okay, I got to adjust the points. So shut the car off, and I'm taking the cap off. He goes, well, what are you doing? I'm going to adjust the points. He goes, I thought you did it through the. I'm like, look, at a 6-cylinder doesn't have that window. That's only on an 8-cylinder. And I showed him that on the base, the plate of the distributor. I said, see this slot that kind of offsets with the slot on the points? You put a screwdriver in there and you twist it, and that's how you open and close the points. He goes, oh, wow. He said, how do you know this stuff? I was like, did it like 900 times. It's like, this is what I had to do to make my car run back in the day when I had a straight 6. So I said, yeah, it kind of made it easier now with electronics, right? You do everything with a scan tool. But this way you could fix it on the side of the road. You can change those points. You can and I told him when I was writing to him, I said, get some sandpaper to clean them. I said, oh, you can get an emery board. And I didn't tell him what that was. I'm waiting to see if he knows what an emery. I used to steal them from my mother. She'd do her nails, and I kept one in every toolbox, just like file the points down.
That's perfect.
Yeah. The old stuff, man.
Not anymore.
And I've explained to so many guys like that the analog version, like points, is the analog version of that of the module that's in your HEI distributor. That's all it is. It's an electronic switch. It's a set of points. That's what it does. All right. I get it. Yes, Steve's phone died.
It says his phone died.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to order stuff from him, though. Definitely.
Nice stuff. Nice products.
Unbelievable.
Very nice.
Really nice stuff.
Yeah.
Like OEM quality.
And it's nice knowing that the guy's an engineer, so he'll understand if you want to do changes or you want to do special stuff. He'll get it. Yeah,
but that stuff's worth every penny.
Yeah, and reasonably priced too.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna hook up with him.
Yeah.
That's cool. I need to come up with something for the kids' Camaro.
Yeah.
Something to put on the fender.
Do that as a surprise, maybe.
Yeah. I got some ideas.
There you go.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'll definitely be spending some money with him.
Yeah, that's great. That's good stuff. But even better. Imagine working for a company and they just like cut your division. Like, sorry, all you guys. See ya.
That's it. When you got stockholders.
Yeah, put your education to use somewhere else because you can't do it here. Yeah,
Mhm.
great. Unbelievable. Oh man. So Lou is taking off. He's working on the chassis of the Chevelle. He mounted it on their on a chassis
I
jig.
saw that. He's got a nice looking table there.
Yeah. And he's I don't know what he's going to do with it. I don't know what he's doing to it. He didn't say.
No, he didn't.
But
We'll see what happens.
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he'll be
It'd be nice
cutting.
if he dropped in here once in a while and say hi.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I catch all this up, through Tori. Tori sends out all the stuff,
Yeah.
Catch it through him.
That's
So
cool. Well, he's busy. He's doing stuff.
yeah, no, he needed to get that off the ground.
I'm glad he's doing it.
Yeah. Unreal. So I was on the tool truck today.
Yeah.
And they're doing a promotion where they're giving you these little cards, like a business card. You scratch off the thing, and you go to the website, and you piece together pieces of cards. It's you can win prizes. They're giving out these really cool RC cars. One's a 34 Ford, another one's like a 30-something truck, and they're really cool looking RC, like hot rod RC cars. But there's a couple of grand prize winners. I don't know how many it is. I should look again. The grand prize winner is going to get to go to, I forget where it is, and they're going to spec out and have built their own Factory 5 car for them. Like, whoa.
Those are not cheap.
No, they are not. So that's a pretty damn good promotion. But it's all tied to tool sales, so the more you buy, the more chances you have. So
Yeah. One of my customers built one of those Factory 5, the one that looks like a Ford GT.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what model that is.
Yeah.
He put a late model Corvette engine in it.
Oh, okay.
It was cool because he didn't have the body on it. He just had the chassis done, and it had like rocker panels and just a little bit of the pieces of the body, and the flooring was in there.
Right.
And he was like doing donuts in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a buddy who lives out in Holbrook, and he's retired, but he's built a few of those for guys.
Really?
Yeah, the Cobras, and nice. They're tight. They're tight to work on. They are. Yeah, they're very. It's tough. Even with a small block, they're tight.
It's a huge jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it wouldn't be.
Cobras are tiny.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad if it was a little bigger, but it's tight.
Yeah. Well, that's like this. Like I said, this car is it's kind of like a redesigned Ford GT.
Yeah.
It's very swoopy. The engine, it's a mid-engine deal.
Right.
It's super nice.
Sure.
The thing he had problems with is the radiators up front.
Okay.
And no matter, he was trying for weeks. He couldn't get the air out of the system.
Oh, wow.
It kept overheating.
Yeah.
I don't know what you got to do for something like that.
That's because the engine's higher than the radiator.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my Fiat has the same problem, and Jeep and Al was having the same problem with the Jeep. Any car that has the engine higher than the radiator, we had a guy calling a radio show had that problem, and Al was texting me with the information. Fiat says literally jack the car up so the rear bumper is on the ground. Get the car that high in the air and then start filling it. Oh, my buddy Dan has a Jeep. That's what it was. He called and he was talking about it, and Al was helping him out. They get an air pocket. And when you get that air pocket, I've had my car with the water temperature gauges up to like almost 210. The top of the radiator is scalding hot and the bottom is ice cold. Ice cold. It just has a big airlock. And yeah.
Now, his radiator is laid back at an angle.
Exactly. I saw a guy at a cruise night who put one of those old Xerox, they used to do with the antifreeze. It was like a filler you'd put in a heater hose so you could fill or flush. He put one of those in the rear hose, and he said that solved the problem because now that is higher. He goes, and everything purges out of that. I had the thought years ago, the little valves that you see on a hot water baseboard radiator. There's those little valves, and you can just push them to purge the air.
Right.
So I'm going to buy one of those and put it in the water neck in the front of the engine, and I'll just purge it. So Summit and Jegs had them. It was like $5, $4, $5. And I ordered one, and they wanted to charge me like $8 shipping. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not paying twice what the fucking thing costs, and they want to put it in a box. Like, put it in a little tiny envelope big enough to put a label on and drop it in the mail. It'll cost me 38 cents. So I said, no, I'm not, forget it. I waited till I had to order other stuff and I added it in. And of course, there was no extra charge, but it didn't work for me. I push it and I'll get air out and I'll get fluid out, but I can still get the airlock. It's not high enough in the system. So yeah, that's the problem with that.
Yeah, you had a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, that'll drive you nuts. Truly drive you nuts. Some guys had said the pressurized, the radiator pressurizers will help. You can push air out. I haven't used that method, but I worked on a Malibu yesterday. 4-cylinder Malibu. I did a bunch of that. I do hoses. Let me do hoses, a serpentine belt. Let me tell you something. I did my buddy's Mustang, the one I did the cams on. Now the serpentine on the Mustang, it's a V8, and there's room between, once you take the airbox off, there's room between the engine and the radiator. The serp belt is right there. Mm-hmm. And it's super easy to do. I mean, bang, 4 minutes, the serpentine belt was done. This Malibu, I had to get the other guy, Derek, in the shop. He's a Guyanan kid with the small hands and arms to help me, because it's a transverse engine, and there's this one idler pulley. You can just barely see one of them, and then there's another one that you can't see because it's under the mount, and you can only tell it's there because of the diagram. And it took the two of us, probably like over a half hour to get this belt on. What a pain in the ass. But I did the hoses. I pulled the lower hose, drained the radiator, pulled the lower hose, and then refilled the system. It chugged a little bit. I took the car out for a drive because I did brake work. I did a lot of stuff. So I'm doing a nice test drive. And I put the heat on, and I didn't feel heat. Now, it's not my car, so I don't know what it normally feels like in this thing. But I started getting suspicious. Temperature gauge was in the middle. All of a sudden, the temperature gauge rose to almost the top of the scale. And then the car went into limp mode, and it would only go light, and the check engine light came on. I'm like, okay, we got a thermostat issue. Same thing happened with my wife's car. So I'm going to limp it back to the shop, and all of a sudden, the car takes off again. It's out of limp mode. Like, it shouldn't do that unless you key cycle it. And then all of a sudden, the temperature gauge was down, and I had blasting hot heat. So
water started flowing.
It basically, it's like, then I get back to the shop, I open the hood, and the reservoir tank was empty. And so I was telling Mike, I said, the car freaked out. I said, this is what happens with a computer-controlled car. The computer freaks out, says the thermostat isn't open. We're low on fluid. I'm thirsty. The car gulps. It gulps all the fluid in. The air goes out, and then all of a sudden you have heat. I said, but it still throws a check engine light because just to screw you. I said, that'll clear with a couple of key cycles. But oh my God, these freaking cars. It's like
I've had thermostats that just don't open properly.
Yeah.
They actually stick. That's a big problem there.
Now, my wife's car, she's got a Chevy Cruze. It's got a heated thermostat, of all things. Yeah. It's got a electric connector on it, and it's a heater. And the idea is GM's, in their infinite wisdom, they feel if they can preheat the fluid to get the thermostat to open sooner, the car can get the closed loop sooner, and it's all for emissions. It'll run. Oh. That's what they're doing now. They're preheating the freaking thermostats. Like, can't you just leave this shit alone? No.
I don't mess with new cars at all.
Oh, I'm telling you, man.
Open up my wife's Mercedes.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't even see the engine.
Right.
It's this big, it looks like a custom show car. This big, giant plastic, covering over everything. Yeah. And the only thing that's visible is the windshield washer filler.
Yeah. Yeah, a little hole.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's all they want you to touch. They don't want you touching anything else.
Exactly.
I've had a service. The good thing is you really don't, if you need to do engine work, you got to be a certified shop. You got to know what you're doing. Right. So I haven't had to do any real service like that on those cars, but I've done a lot of brake work. What a pain. Thank God I haven't had to change a master cylinder because they bury them under the cowl with the ABS. I mean, I'm telling you, John, it's like, I don't know. I want to take a Sawzall or a Sazol. You know, I want to like cut half the car apart to get it. Thank God I haven't had to do that.
Mhm.
Pain in the, and the BMWs too. It's another one. It's like a pain in the ass. The German cars just suck. They're great to drive. They're fantastic vehicles, but to work on them,
No. Well, the new truck is God. There's a shitload of hoses all over it.
yeah.
There's hoses and wiring harnesses and multiple like fuse boxes.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even know where to look.
There's
you know?
boxes, sub boxes. Well, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
But under the dash is usually the cabin stuff, and then under the hood is that's where you find the relays and the power fuses and the big stuff.
There's two.
And
two
there could be a
boxes,
supplemental
two
one, right?
electrical boxes underneath the hood, and
Sure.
you know, I think because you put a lot of them are diesels, the Duramax.
Right.
So I already have the second battery box. There's already bolted into the nose of the truck.
Oh, okay.
If I ever wanted to add a second battery, it's just drop it in and hook
Nope.
up the wire.
Lee just said, try changing a headlight in a Chrysler, remove the fascia. On this Malibu, I had to do the upper hose. So the one part that went onto the thermostat, I could see it, see the clamp, and I got on it. And so it was a worm drive clamp. So I know somebody's been in here before. This is not a GM clamp. So where does the other side of the hose go? To the radiator. Okay. Well, you can't see it. It gets lost under the header panel. You could follow it with your hand, and I have my hand on it. I can feel the clamp. I know where it is, but I can't see it. I cannot get my eyes on this thing. So I called my buddy Mike over. I said, just give me a set of eyes on this. What do you think? I said, it looks to me like the headlight has to come out. I think if the headlight comes out, I can get to where my hand is. So he put his hand in there. I said, yeah, I don't see your hand. He says, well, take the headlight out. Two 10-millimeter bolts on the top. I pull it out, and bang, there's the hose right there. I'm like, you sons of bitches. Taking the headlight out to change it up a radiator hose.
Yeah, it's because what is it? An engineer designs everything.
Well, yeah, I know the Chrysler. Some of them like
mechanic.
What the hell car is it? They made them from the 90s up. The convertible Chrysler.
I saw pictures of a motor where you have to take the intake manifold off to get the starter.
The starter. That's a Caddy. That's a North Star.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The starter's mounted up top.
Good place for a starter, right? Yeah. In the valley. Lee's right. The Sebring. Try and change a battery on a Sebring.
Where's the battery?
It's so buried. You just want, like, if you cut a hole in the outside of the fender, you could get right at it. But no, you got to take everything out to get a Sebring battery out. It's ridiculous.
My wife's car, the battery's under the back seat.
Yeah. Germans always did that. Like with Volkswagens, they were always known for putting batteries. They did a lot of that in the car stuff. Yeah, the Audis are still doing that.
It's a lease.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, hello.
That's right.
Come with a flatbed. Bring me another one.
Be a loaner, right? Yeah. Now, at least right. Those. Yeah, I've had to do the brakes on a couple of those German cars too, and it's special tooling. You know, I did it. It was doing an Audi, so I'm reaching on the back of the caliper, and they were hex head, and I couldn't find a hex that would fit.
Metric hex.
Of course, yeah. So I'm using the metrics, and it ended up. What I had to do was I got a normal. Now I've been seeing it on the tool truck. I have extra long hexes. You know, look like they may be 4 inches long with ball ends, but I've been seeing these. Like the regular hex drivers are maybe an inch and a quarter. So I've been seeing them where they're like half size and then real stubby. And the real stubby ones, I said, fuck that. I'll take one and cut it if I gotta, you know. And of course, you're on a Snap-on truck, so that's another $300, you know, for a set. And you need like both sets. Maybe not 300, maybe two. But you know, to do stabilizer links, the way to do it is there's a hex and a nut. You turn that nut, you'll be spinning the thing all day. You got to put a hex driver in it and then hold it. You can either hold the nut and turn the hex is what I do. And that's when you need the real little stubby ones. Like, okay, all right. Because, you know, you got suspension clearances. But this Audi I found, I needed the mid-length one. I took a picture of it. When I finally got the slide bolts out, then there's like 4 of them per caliper. They took the hex and sunk it so deep into that barrel, they could have brought it out further. There was no reason not to that I could see, but you had to use a set. I had to take the hex bit, drive the drift pin out of it, and then pull it out and like to make it longer so I could get in there. I'm like, now I got to go buy a long 9mm just to do Audi brake. I said, I hope I never have to do another Audi.
Having it real deep like that, can't it get like filled up with all kinds of crud?
Now, yes. And I would think, well, sometimes they put caps in those things. They put a cap over the end of it. This car didn't have any. So either the last guy never put them back on or they weren't there to begin with. I don't know. I couldn't put them back because they weren't there. But now you just need like a long 9mm. I was ranting to Brian about that one week. I'm like, what's with these freaking German cars? But I tell you, I feel better with tools. Huh?
You froze up. Now you're all blurry.
Oh shit.
Oh, there you go. Now you're clear.
I'm good on this end. Yeah, you gotta keep buying new tools. Oh, Brian say. Oh yeah, Brian just sent me a picture of the stubby set. Yeah, I was looking at them today on the truck. I'm looking at and there's little micro little stubbies like Needle Dick the Bug Fucker. They're like it's like an 1/8 inch tall. There's an 8. You got the socket that goes on your ratchet or whatever, and then the bit is only like an 1/8 inch. I'm like,
and it doesn't snap.
Oh, it's the same size as a longer one. It's just a shorter version, and I'm like,
but like, what's the diameter of it?
Well, it depends. Like I was looking at Torx ones, so like the T6 or the T5 and T6, they're really small. And then the bigger ones, they have bigger ones too. They go from like T15, T20,
T12s or something.
Yeah, no, they're getting bigger, but they're still very stubby, and that's what you need for those end links.
And they can handle the torque of loosening, something like that.
You do it by hand. Yeah, you do it by hand. I mean, I was looking at that Malibu, and one of the things that I didn't do was because I took he wanted me to inspect the brakes. Okay, pull the wheels, pull the calipers. The car's got 26,000 miles on it. It was his mom's car. She had it in Florida. It's an 05 with 26,000 miles. Wow. So the brakes, I said to him, you know what? These brakes are like brand new. They're gonna have like a 1/2 inch of pad on them. And he just bought a set of the brake pad gauges. Mm-hmm. So I asked him, I said, bring those gauges over here. I never use them. Show me how they work. And you just kind of hook them in and you find the one that hooks in right. So he said, yeah, it's this one. It's the green one. I'm like, oh, there you go. It's like 0.475. Or I'm like, I told you it was about a 1/2 inch. That'd be 0.5, right? So, but I want to lube all the slides and put grease on the on the stainless brackets. Brian says, yeah, these go, the minis go up to T. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? Because all I see is glare on my screen.
It's all glare.
I don't know why it doesn't show on here. I'm seeing, I can see the top. It's black and white. That's why it's not really showing. Yeah, it goes up to T50. Oh, $59. See, Mako comes through again. $59. Brian,
there you go.
Next order, you can send me a set of those because, that's worth it. Mako, the prices are so much more in line and so much more affordable, for a quality tool.
Yeah.
I love using that stuff.
Well, I don't know. Snap-on has always been the most expensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they do crazy stuff. You got one of those $249 Craftsman toolboxes, and the guy says, "I'll give you $1,000."
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Oh, my guy is pushing boxes like crazy. He's trying to get rid of boxes like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the problem is, and I told him this a couple of years ago now, that what's Brian got? He's got something else here. 10-piece drive. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. That's good stuff. I'll buy a metric and an American. Kidding me for that price? It's less than a pair of pliers on the Snap-on truck. But I had to upgrade a screwdriver kit and a screwdriver set and a couple other things. And the plastic that they're putting them in, you put that right into your toolbox and it keeps everything in line. Mm-hmm. It doesn't fit in my older toolbox. And all this stuff is made for the newer toolboxes, deeper drawers, wider drawers. And I told the dealer, I said, I'm starting to see what's happening here. You guys, someone's designing the tools and the packaging to fit in the newer toolboxes. So guys like me with older toolboxes are like shit out of luck. He's like, hey, we can solve that. He goes, what color do you want? I'm like, get out of here. I said, so my buddy Mike's on truck. I said, I'll be going down to Maryland to get a toolbox. I'll talk to Brian. I'll be buying a Matco toolbox.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny.
Real.
But yeah, I feel bad for the guys who are full time. Special. Well, dealer mechanics are one thing. I mean, you get the tools that work on those cars, and you don't have to get tools for any other car because that's not what you're working on. But if you're in an independent shop doing a lot of different cars, you're screwed. You really are.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of guys are like, if you know the guys, you know, you can share stuff, or you know, if you got that relationship with other guys in the shop.
There's a guy that used to live across the street from me. He bought the house and then they moved after 2 years. He had a house built like one town over. He's a body guy.
Yeah.
And I've been to his body shop. He has Snap-on stuff, and it's like this lime green.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude's got 5 boxes.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yeah, because he's got like every single body working tool. And the stuff that a mechanic would need.
This is the new lineup of toolboxes.
Yeah.
And they do it like, they'll reverse it like orange on black, black on orange.
Yeah.
Nice stuff, but
his is like green and chrome, lime green and chrome.
Yeah, there's one of those on a truck today. Yeah.
And
We got 5 minutes left, by the way.
It's huge, tall,
Yeah,
crazy wide, and
It's
then
probably
there's
got the
side cabinets.
yeah,
And then he's got other ones and he moves them around.
yeah.
And he knows exactly what's in every drawer. And I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah.
And he has moved from like one body shop to another like 3 times in like 4 years because he keeps getting better offers.
Okay.
And he's got to have a flatbed come.
Oh, sure.
Drag all his stuff, a couple 1,000 pounds worth of tools.
You always see that. Like, you see a guy going down Sunrise Highway with a flatbed, and there's like a big Snap-on. He'll have a Snap-on toolbox, and he'll have like, you know, some other machinery, maybe a parts cleaner machine or whatever, like, you know, all stuff strapped on, or it's in the back of a big pickup truck, you know. Yep.
And you got to say to yourself, did he get fired or did he get a
Right.
better
Right.
deal?
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
You never know.
Yeah, moving those tools, man. That was nice. When I lived when I got married, I had my toolboxes at home in the basement. And the Snap-on guy would come he came to my house on Friday nights. So me and my brother and another guy would, you know, I'd roll up at home and there was a Snap-on truck in front of my house. How cool was that? This guy was like, you know, he's partying with us. It was a riot. But when I moved to my first house in Queens, he came with the truck, loaded it because he had the lift gate, drove him out to the house. You know, I was like, wow, this is service. I like that.
When I moved to Florida,
the
guys that moved me, the moving company, they were freaking out.
Yeah.
It took 3 of them because they didn't have, you know, those moving trucks don't have lift gates. They have
Right.
ramps.
Right.
It took 3 of those guys to push my Mac toolbox up
Oh,
and
man.
then in.
Yeah, that's tough.
And, you know, those things, they move around and the ramp isn't all that wide.
No,
my God. I was waiting for that thing to just go.
Yeah. So bring the pickup truck up to it, put a tire in the middle, and like just push it. Yeah, that's a lot of weight, man.
And it was worse coming down.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no winch.
No, it was horrible. So when I moved it from here to the shop, we used a truck with a lift gate.
Yeah.
And that was no big deal. And then when it came back, I hired a company to move that stuff out.
Yeah.
I was still recovering from my knee.
Right. You got a lot of miles on that toolbox.
Oh my God. Forget about it. You know, it was weird. I mean, it sat around for basically forever. I bought it on Long Island and it was in chassis connection for years. And it really didn't move much.
Yeah.
Just like maybe from one side of the shop to the other once in a while. And then it came here to Florida and it's been sitting in the garage without moving at all.
Yeah.
Since we got here. I went to move it to go to the big shop that I was going to be doing the race cars in. Yeah. And the wheels cracked.
Oh, wow. They fell apart.
Yeah. Those red wheels that Mac uses.
Right. We're down under a minute.
Yeah. So I had to go buy new wheels.
Oh yeah.
Luckily, I found ones that were the exact same height.
Brian just said he sold a guy a toolbox. It was at the shop he was moving into, and it fell off the tow truck. Talk about being at the right place at the right time. Yeah, just sell him a new box. I've seen pictures on the internet of boxes that fell off of brand new boxes that fell off of trucks. Like, oh my God. That's crazy.
Well, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, John.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
You'll be on next week.
Yeah, you should have seen he was in there and let him in. Could have had our trio. All right, we got 10 seconds. Time to get out of here. Gotta go to sleep. I'm tired. All right.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay. Good night. Bye.